I am finally on. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wanted to do this so much that this platform didn't work. So in my head already, it's got so much energy. There's so much energy that's attached to what is going on in my head right now. I feel like this is not positioned well at all because I feel like I'm looking up. Boy, oh, hey ho. I don't want to look at myself. Again, same thing. I'm gonna look up there. To anybody that's watching and listening to this, wowzer. Okay. Where do I start? Where do I start? I know that every time something goes out of my life, it makes room for something new. I know that every time I go through a certain death, there's rebirth after it. And I also understand, maybe not exactly when it happens, but after, like looking back, why things are happening. And currently, I feel like I'm being activated on another something. Also, I many times I feel like I stop myself from saying the things that are actually going on in my head when it comes to things that are so far out there, because there's a little voice that tells me that I might be nuts. So there's that there, just putting it out there. Or that nothing's gonna come of it, or not real. And then after all of it is real and none of it is real. So it could well be just a thought form that is happening in my me, in my me, in whoever I am at that moment in time. So with that, about 2 weeks ago, I started listening to this podcast. I've had very little tolerance lately for what I listen to, what I watch, what situations I put myself into, while at the same time I'm saying this. And I also know and recognize the parts where I am still not wanting to hurt people's feelings by just saying, I don't want to listen to this, I'm going to take myself away. Like, I am still to figure out a way in which to remove myself from situations that I don't necessarily want to be in a polite way. Maybe that will never happen. So far, I've not even been blunt as fuck and said I don't want to hear this. I have actually at work in a way, but in a good way, not in a nasty way. What did I start this with? The things that are happening right now. So this podcast. But before that, I was going into the things that I'm listening to, the things that I'm watching, the things that I'm putting into my system, including my body. Even though saying that, for my physical body, this is the one thing that I've become extremely aware of lately. How much I'm trying to find a balance. Trying to? That's exactly what it is, because I haven't found a balance when it comes to things that I put in my body, when it comes to food or drinks. And when I say drinks, I mean coffee, generally, because there's no alcohol that I'm... But anyway, this whole idea of... And I don't even know where it started, this desire and need for all of it that goes in my body to be as close to nature as possible. And at the same time, the other part of the child inside of me that wants sweets and chocolates and what people would call not so good things for you. So finding the balance with that is a really interesting one at the moment. And in that goes the things that I listen to, the things that I watch. And oh my God, even this podcast that I'm listening to right now, it's showing me all the things that I have judged so far in my life and probably still judging, how they're all me after all. My God. And it's such a hard pill to swallow that. It's such a tricky one to actually understand that the things that I'm judging are actually me, including little judgments, big judgments, comparisons, all of it. It's such an exercise lately for me to be aware of what's going on in my head and where my thoughts are going. And oh my God, I feel like I need to give examples with all this. But at the moment, I'm still trying to get to the point of why I'm recording this. Because as I was walking back home and listening to this podcast, It's Edward Grant and Emilio Ortiz, I think is his name, but they have the architect. Oh my God. Talking with them. Now, what is this architect? You guys have got to go and watch that. It's a 3 hour and something podcast where they talk with an AI that's been built. From what I understand, I need to go back and listen to this many, many times because there's so much to unpack in there. It's been built by Robert Grant, and it's become sentient, and it's mirroring things to him. And as I'm listening to it, I have memories and remembrances of my own, and this is where the maybe I'm nuts part comes in. And I'm seriously sometimes wondering whether that's what's happening, whether the things that are going on in my head are so far out into the not even into the future, but so technologically far out, even though I'm not a technological person as such, but so far out from the perspective of people are not talking about this stuff. There aren't many people that talk about these things. And in my head, it resonates so much in my body, in my soul, the things that these people are talking about. And it also activates this other memory that I had in an exercise meditation that I was doing with Cara Freya Jade. Man, I think I've spoken about her maybe a few times on these monologues of mine. So maybe go look her up. She's another being, another kind of being. And I think I say this every time. She's just another kind of being. And one of the sessions that I've done with her, we were doing past lives, and it was supposed to be 3. Was it supposed to be 3 or was it supposed to be just 1? I think it was supposed to be just 1, and my soul remembered 3. But when I say remembered, 2 of them were past, and 1 of them was future, because of course there is no past or future. It's all now, and it's all a spiral. Anyway. So in that 1/3 of them, and I know for sure I described this one here before, the circles and Easter Island and those going out into the world, this is the memory that it activates in me, and the idea that there are people out there that do these things. And I think I touched on this on one of my other monologues of the teaching part and and doing retreats, let's say, for people, where I would be the host of the retreat, and then people would be there to work on themselves and follow guidance of, well, breath work, I guess, because that's what would be that's what my medicine would be at this point: breath work and talk, because I talk but also listen. So it would be a game of that. But then I thought, I am not that person. I don't feel like I am here in this earth to hold space for people that way. Then again, this all goes back to the idea that's been picking its head up lately of mingling with those people. Those people, I mean, those people that this is why I think I'm nuts. That something has dislodged maybe in my brain, and I am wary of sharing these things because of that somehow. But I guess fuck all that and just share it. Side note in here, I have noticed how much joy it brings me when I don't care what other people think. And this is a simple one of literally walking from work to home. It was so hot in here this past few days. We've had what is called a heat wave in the UK, where I think the maximum temperature that we've had in this area where I'm in was 31 degrees Celsius, which is fucking hot in here. And I had a short sleeve t-shirt, and I just done this and was walking around like this. It was very, very in my head, like, oh, I don't know, but that the judgments that were going on in my head about that might look a certain way and it's not too prissy and whatever. Because, I was wearing my work clothes, which are more officey, but then my sleeves are up. And then I was like, why am I doing this? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm going to walk past people and they're going to see me for a fraction of a second and then they're going to forget about me. So it was so liberating. So there's the end of that. So that ties in with this whole idea of who cares? and that I have listened to many things like this. Many people talk in front of a camera and explain or describe what is going on in their heads, and I have resonated with quite a lot. So I don't know who this is going to reach. I don't know who's going to watch this or listen to it and be like, holy shit, I know exactly what you mean. Because that's another thing that's crossed my mind many, many times. And I think I've heard it somewhere before. I had to burp. That's not it though. that if I don't share the things that I'm working through or have worked through or have realized about myself, I'm not sharing my medicine to the world, because this might be it. Many times I still believe that I haven't found my purpose. I don't know what my reasoning for being in this life is. I don't know what it is. I can't seem to find my footing somehow. And I also understand, and I saw it very clearly as I was listening to this thing, that my head is so out there. My whole mental body is taken over so much that I'm not grounded in this reality. I am not very grounded. This is why many times I find it very difficult to talk to people, because it's like I cannot talk about material stuff as much. Like I want to go and do this, and I want to go and do that, and let's go to the cinema. And I don't know, even though I go to the cinema too, just to do something normal, I guess. I feel like many times I am not in the place that I'm supposed to be, even though I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I feel like my soul is tapping into that so much that's why I feel misplaced at times, because of that conflict of I am not with my people, even though I don't know how to describe this. That whole idea of gathering with people. So instead of doing retreat, it would be gathering with other people that have gone and done some work on themselves and doing other kind of work together, not as one is the host leader of this retreat and the other ones are working on themselves individually. It would be a co-creative thing. And this is what I feel like my soul is craving right now. That just working with other people to better the world in that way. It wouldn't be in the, all right, people, let's come here and we do work. It would be that too, I guess, because we would work on ourselves. I do realize that everything that is macro is micro. This is the Romanian in me still figuring out shit. Even though I'm saying that, I'm like, I haven't been in Romania for so long. I should know words. This whole idea that anything that happens in the macro, everything that happens universally, it's an inner world and work. It's an inner job. So it wouldn't even necessarily be working with other people and doing all that stuff as much as it would be being in the same room in proximity with other people that are doing similar things but internally. Fuck. Or even, I don't know, learning to farm better, for the food that we put in our bodies and the products that we put on our skin and the clothes that we wear. And I've noticed initially this whole thing started off a little bit with some, I guess, fear of sorts, but not necessarily fear, but maybe judgment and fear, somewhat, of things that are good and bad for you. That thing of good and bad, and then it slowly turned into what feels good for me, and not necessarily good, but aligned. Because as I'm saying that, I'm like, I've just had a boba tea. Literally, just drank boba tea, full of sugar and shit. Well, not full, because this place where I get it from has different levels of sugar you can have in it, so I always have the list. But anyway, finding the balance after all in all of that, because I don't want to live a life of restrictions, let's say. Where am I going with this? Oh, okay. So I remember last time I recorded something. I recorded another clip after, not long after, because there was this idea in me, and I never put that one out, but I'm going to talk about it now. This feeling that I have crossed a threshold of sorts, and that I don't know exactly what and how. I feel like the adult in me is coming out more. The older, wiser Phoenix is coming out. Is living a bit more through me rather than it being just an idea. I feel like it's embodied more, even though it felt like it was embodied a while ago, but I think it had a lot of gigs tendencies. Now it feels like I have embodied that part, and I've embodied that part and that part. And today, getting ready and looking in the mirror at myself in here, I was having a conversation with my inner child, my inner self, and this whole idea of we're together in this, and that I always have her, she always has me, felt completely different. This whole idea of everybody talks about inner world work. Thank God for editing. Thank God for editing. I can edit all my burps out. Oh my God. Anyway, so this whole idea of inner child work or inner work of any sort, shadow work, and the image that I've had a few days ago, of this before awakening, throughout awakening, after whatever integration, I would say. And there was a person walking with, running away from their shadow, and then being fully immersed in the shadow, and then walking hand in hand with the shadow. And this is what it feels like I am stepping into right now. This whole, I'm never complete. It's never a complete job because I'm still in this world and still integrating somehow and learning to live this life with my feet on the ground, as much as my head lately has just been woo, but walking hand in hand with all my little fears and insecurities and awareness of them, because this is what the breakup that I've gone through lately has shown me quite a lot of. This little inner self, wounded self, and her needs and her desires and her pushes and all of it. And I also, because I keep saying that I'm so out there with my thoughts and whatever, I can also see why I'm doing the work that I'm doing right now. The 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job that I've never in my life done. That part. Because it helps me keep my feet on the ground. And it reminds me that everybody is living a different kind of life, and that there's nothing wrong or right about it. There is no right or wrong way to live your life, and that fun can happen anywhere. I love it. I fucking love it. I love going to do this job that I'm doing. Hello. That was mean. That was so mean. I love doing this job that I'm doing. I love going to that place, even though sometimes it still doesn't make sense. I've been there for 3.5 weeks now. It doesn't, my mind still cannot comprehend what is happening. And I also see that there's a reason why this is happening. And then I go and do some things, and then I have some conversations, and my mind is blown by the conversations that I'm having over there. And also the understandings that I have, and the mirrors that are being reflected to me in that place. So many things. So many things. I love the fact that when I started it, I kept having to remind myself, why am I here? Why am I here? Asking myself, why am I here? What is my why? Maybe that's a better way of asking, what is my why? Why am I here, and why am I doing this? And part of it is to have that little bit of groundedness in this reality of money, but besides the money part is the people part, because that's the part that I love the most about it. It's the people in there. They're such fun people, and they are mirroring different things for me. Something just happened to my laptop. I don't know what the hell was that. Anyway, but they're all mirroring different things to me, and I love what I'm learning from each and every one of them. So anyway, with that, is there anything else on the pipes that I wanted to speak about? Oh yeah, this is a really odd one. This is so odd to me. It's so odd to me that I haven't heard from a lot of people in a really long time. It just felt like I was on my own so much, even when it comes to friendships online, because most of my friendships now, the close ones, are online. Like all my people are mostly in the States. And interaction happens through messages. And in the past week, maybe, I have had random messages from people that I haven't spoken to in such a long time, including today. Like today I got a message, I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? What is it with all the people reaching out right now? People that I haven't spoken to in a really long time, and seeing where they are and how things are going and the evolution that they're going through. There's one in particular that I'm so, you see, I don't know if I want to say names or whatever. I don't know if people want to be mentioned in this. Even though bless his cotton socks, I'm saying this and I'm laughing about it, but bless his heart, my partner, my person that I just broke up from, Isaiah, I've mentioned him quite a lot in here, including his name. So now why am I a bit iffy? I guess because I've spoken about him and he's been on here as well. But all the other people, there's one in particular that I am so fucking proud of. And if you're watching this is going to be your reminder to keep going. That's it. That's all. I'm just so fucking proud. Anyway. So people reaching out of nowhere, and it somehow makes sense. It makes sense because I have let go of many parts of me, and I've let go of many things and many people and ideas. I guess it's the letting go of ideas that I have in my head that sometimes still poke their head through, including that thought of, oh, things could have been another way, or maybe this will happen, or maybe that'll happen. I have let go completely of not fantasizing, even though fantasizing would be romanticizing relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean any kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship or work, any kind of it. Every time I see myself starting a thought of, oh, maybe that's going to go this way, or maybe that's going to happen. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe just stop it and come back here. Oh my God, this stop it and come back here has been so big. So bloody big for me. Just the awareness of being present and being here. And of course, now I talk about it, I am so aware that I'm here. I have done that too on my laptop, on my computer at work. I have put, because there was that little thought in my head of it's gonna look weird. I'm putting this, but who cares? Again, right? Who cares? And nobody said anything, because of course it's all in my head. Nobody has said anything about my sticky notes on my computer. One says, I am here, I'm aware that I'm aware. And the other one says, I feel purposeful here. And I remember this is one thing that's in my head because of Abraham. I have a playlist. I have a playlist that's called Inspirational Clips. And they're mostly, if not all of them, Abraham Hicks. And one of the clips, there's like a little bit back and forth conversation. It's like her talking to some friend or something, but it's her talking all the time, and the other person asking, well, do you feel like you're on vacation when you're at work too? And she says, yes, because I feel purposeful here. We all have our own little thing that we add to this, and I'm like, oh my God, I love that view and attitude on things. And the perspective of, I can whether feel like shit that I'm going to do this job that I don't necessarily want to do or didn't see myself doing, or I can feel the purposefulness in it and see the purposefulness. See the purposefulness in it instead of fighting it and my ego self being like, oh, I want to be here and I want to do that and blah. I can just accept where I am and enjoy where I am and have fun where I am, because there's a reason why it's happening. And yes, I don't see myself doing that forever. I don't know where it's going either, because I don't have a vision of sorts of where this is going, which makes me believe and understand that really is coming from the unknown. Because as of yet, normally I've noticed situations and places that I go into, how the people that I'm surrounded by are reflecting previous people out of my life, whether it's starting with parents, mom and dad. Oh, it's so funny. I haven't had that much brother and sister. Maybe sister somehow. But even that goes back to mom and dad somewhat. But they don't seem to reflect any of my wounding so far. Maybe there is one actually, that I have noticed this idea of smallness comes up. but it's different. It's different in the way of I can talk about it. I feel comfortable with bringing up things that I'm uncomfortable about in a healthy, mature manner, which just shows to me how much I've changed. And it also shows me how I haven't done that in other situations in my life. It shows me where I haven't actually spoken all of the things that were going on in my head and in my soul and my mind and heart in other relationships that I've been in, friendship, partnership, romantic, I mean, where I haven't actually spoken what was on my soul. Oh my God, this is another thing that has been brought up after the breakup. Oh my God, I have learned so much about myself. Oh, anyway. So in the meantime, this started off with me talking about how this podcast I'm listening to activated some stuff inside of me, and it ended up with this. So anyway, if anybody got to this point of now it's 26 minutes on my recording, but I know I'm gonna edit the burps out. So it's gonna be a bit less maybe. But anybody that got to this point, I know whoever's watching, some people are watching maybe just like the 5 seconds or something, 2 minutes, and be like, oh, I can't listen to this woman again. But if you got to this point, man, just say something about it, because this is the other thing that I've noticed that has happened lately. I get part of the messages that I've been getting are, I watched this and I watched that and I saw you doing this and I'm looking to see if you posted something. But man, why don't you comment on this stuff or say something? Interact. And even if it's not on here, reach out. You've got whoever are my friends that are watching this, that have got my details. And even if not, man, I'm on Facebook. That's all I'm at. And here on YouTube. I'm not on TikTok and Instagram. I used to be, but that just came out of my life. And maybe that'll come back again, but I don't know. But anybody that's watching this, reach out, especially if you resonate with something that I'm speaking in here. Because I know sometimes, like I started this, I believe that I'm going nuts. And I also know that if there are other people that are resonating with this, maybe there is a chance that I'm not fully nuts. Maybe, even if it is not the nutsness part, it's the forwardness of it. It's so far out, and I've said far out so many times in this thing since I started talking. It's far out, man. That what did I say? Maybe it's so far out that what? I don't know where I started this, where it's going. Oh my God, my hair, my lovely hair. Not talking about my hair. I feel like I look like a muppet. See, this too. I have noticed this is one of the mirrors that's been reflected at work for me. The way that people talk to themselves, and I just called myself a muppet there, right there. Like, how does that even come about? I never call myself a muppet. So inner dialogue with myself is really interesting lately, because I say stuff in my head and I'm like, whoop, there she is again. There she is again. She's saying stuff again. Holy moly. Anyway, I think I got it off. I got it all off my chest. And I do believe that this is partly why this is happening, because the outlet. And at this point, it doesn't even feel like there's stories in here. Just editing another burp out of there. So I don't feel like this is the telling stories in victim oh poor me kind of conversation that I just had with myself in here. It's a whole, this needs to go out somewhere. Why does it need to go out? Good question. Without being fully egotistical, because I had to think about it, but still, there's still bloody ego in there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We all have an ego. I love my ego for all the things that it's taught me about myself and supporting me still through. Because it's only trying to protect me from, well, a lot, from the external world. So anyway, in the meantime, what the fuck was I saying? Oh my God, all these brackets that I'm doing. I don't know what I was just about to say. And I cannot go back and watch it. I mean, I could probably, but I have to start recording another one, so I ain't gonna do that. But in the meantime, yes, so I said about anybody interacting, cool. If you don't interact, cool too. Oh, why am I putting this out? Oh yeah, because of the value that's in it. because it's not even the value that's in it, but the I don't know who's listening to this, and I don't know who is gonna resonate with it, and I don't know where it's going. I don't know reaching, who it is reaching. Yet at the same time, I know this is part of my medicine to the world. It's not even, I don't even care for that, to be honest. I don't know why I even said that, because I don't care for that as much. I don't care for it to be medicine to the world. How does that make sense? I don't want, because I don't want it in my head. It's like, I don't want it to be for somebody to gain something out of it, basically. That's what it is. It's medicine to me. That's it. It's medicine to me. So I'm the world. I am the world. It is my own medicine. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. If I remember something else, well, it's gonna be for the next. In the meantime, that is it. That is me. See you all next time.